Hello.
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 Hello, can you hear me? Do you want to clap?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to midlife-ing.
Just give me a moment. I have to unplug a hard drive.
Oh, okay.
The reason I'm doing that is because I think it might be making a bit of noise.
Ah. See, now, I can't unplug the thing that's going to almost certainly make noise today.
Jefrey!
Yep. He's in between breakfasts, so he's a little frustrated.
I'm just going to come back to say, I understand that kind of frustration.
Well, he's had his breakfast, but now he
come
needs
on,
our
Jeff.
breakfast.
Say that again. Say that again.
I said he's had his breakfast, but now he wants my breakfast.
Oh.
So he's a bit disappointed
What
that
is
I'm not eating breakfast.
What is your breakfast?
Today? Oh, goodness. I'm going to have a yogurt, a banana, and a piece of toast. Or I'm going to have some fresh blueberries and pancakes. I have yet to decide.
All of those things sound kind of amazing.
I like to breakfast well. It's an important thing for me.
Do you brush your teeth before you...
Nope.
Do you brush your teeth? Oh, so you're not one of these people that brush their teeth immediately when they wake up?
No, I brush my teeth after I have eaten.
Do you wait some time after you've eaten before you brush your teeth?
Ah, I see. I mean, not very long, no.
I think there's some, I'm just going to say, science.
Yeah.
About that.
I should probably look into it.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
Well,
But I've just recently joined the brush your teeth when you first get up brigade.
oh, and how's that going for you?
I'm quite liking it. It's because, I do a lot before I have breakfast.
Right,
I go
yes.
for a walk, I meditate,
Yeah.
I do yoga, and it's quite nice getting rid of all those bacteria that have been, well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them before I, so they're not sort of loitering. After they've spent a long night, I guess replicating.
And you're two times a day minimum toothbrusher, right? You're not just a once a day
Oh
toothbrusher.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
No, 'cause
floss.
there is.
And interdental.
Okay. Do you have a? Oh my God. Do you have a water squirter?
No. That's that we've talked about this. That's you being fancy.
Game changer. That's Bob being fancy. Bob got the water squirter. I just benefit from Bob's fanciness.
Yeah, that's
I'm about to move to
Portugal.
Man, this is no. I've just come back. I'm about to move to a mouthguard for bedtime.
Oh, is that to protect? Is that to stop grinding, or just to what's that?
It's to open up the airway.
Oh,
airways.
snory boy.
Very snory boy. I'm not waking up as refreshed as I would like to, and
I
Bob
imagine neither is Bob.
Well, I was going to say Bob has long said that it sounds like sleeping next to somebody who is sawing wood, and also. We have different snore cycles. I snore at the beginning of my sleep cycle and I stop later on. So that is something at least to be beneficial. But I also do that slight sleep apnea thing where you stop breathing and Bob gets really, really, really anxious that I've died.
Oh, yes, like those sort of death rattles. I remember that so clearly. The time between breaths when my father was dying. Surely there's no... You take another one, eh? Oh, man.
Well, that's like me every night. Apparently.
I can imagine that is a little stressful for Bob.
Yeah, she's got earplugs. She'll be fine.
I think my husband died. I had earplugs in.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
What
there.
time-
I was there physically, but not really emotionally or sonically. I was not there sonically for the death of my husband.
Exactly. When do you think your husband passed away? Sometime between the hours of. What was the giveaway that he was no longer with us? He didn't make breakfast.
Although, Weekend at Bernie, she tried to drag you down and put your hands around the frying pan, and he's just not functioning this morning. What the hell is wrong with you? Jeffrey's growling. Yeah.
Oh, don't. I spent time with my parents this summer, and mate, they're old.
Oh, how is it revealing itself?
In the fact that
we haven't mentioned Weekend at Bernie's once in 190 whatever it is 7 episodes of midlife-ing. So I
mean, it's one of Andrew McCarthy's finest films.
Can't believe
I'd
I'd forgotten Andrew McCarthy was in it.
Hey, do you want me to go even deeper cut? I'll tell you who his co-banana lead is. Jonathan Silverman.
Oh no.
Yeah, why would you? And here's a really, really deep cut.
Wait, who's Bernie? Who plays Bernie?
No clue. Jonathan Silverman took over the role of, can't remember the character's name, but he's a version of Neil Simon in the sequel to Brighton Beach Memoirs, which was originally played by Matthew Broderick in the film. How do I have this kind of fucking pointless stuff in my brain?
I mean, this is a well-covered topic on midlife.
I know, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention when I watched it, so I don't know why that's stuck in my noggin.
Speaking of Andrew McCarthy,
Yes,
I watched his, I'm going to call it, I'm doing scare quotes here, documentary.
Oh, I mean, can I put not scare quotes and just go puff piece of nonsense?
Did you watch it?
It was shit.
Wow. We're talking about the
Brats.
Brats, thank you.
Brats, yeah. Not with a Z, which would be the amazing dolls that are a rival to Barbie, but with an S.
It was so, I mean, just give you an idea of just how bad it was. I mean, he really came across as someone just trying to squeeze a little bit more life out of something that had died so long ago. And to give you a sort of sense of just how bad it was, Rob Lowe was the person who seemed to make the most sense. And, of course, Molly Ringwald didn't even appear on it because she's just too smart.
Which is the bit that made me go... I mean, and it felt like a bait and switch that all the time you were going to get it, and then the switch was like, oh, but she decided not to. It's like, you knew she was never... And that was the only reason I didn't switch it off.
It was so
Not
bad.
because of my deep love for her, but because I would be curious what she would have had to say, given how eloquent she is.
She's indeed. So wait, so we got onto Andrew McCarthy, Weekend at Bernie's. Oh yes. So how is your how are
Parents aging.
Yeah, how's it revealing itself?
In a way, well, they're slightly
Differently,
softer.
I guess.
They're slightly softer in the the same stories are recycled with a slightly higher rate than usual. But that's,
Oh, right. Okay, so they're coming around more often.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not minutes.
No, God, no.
Okay.
No,
okay.
no. No, like 2 or 3 days later, I get told something.
I've had experiences of the minutes thing.
Oh no, we're a long way from we're a long way from minutes, and the interesting thing is, one of them will start telling a story that they've already told me, and the other one will go, "You've already told him," and I go, "Yeah, you already told me," and then the one who has corrected will start to tell me a story, and the other one will go, "Now you've already told him that," so they're
monitoring. They're monitoring each other.
Yeah, but what was interesting is Dad's pool is leaking. And this is an ongoing saga that he's been trying to fix in a variety of ways. And he won't bring a professional in because it will cost a lot of money. And I've said, who are you saving the money for? You're 83. if it's in the bank and you want to not have a leaky pool, just get someone to come in. No, not doing that. So instead, the man dug.
The man dug.
The man dug.
Oh, the man
90. Dug. I was in the middle of a sentence.
Not
the man, comma.
I thought
Doug.
there was a man, Doug.
No. The man, my father, dug, the past tense of to dig, a hole that was 1 metre deep and nearly 1 metre square.
Oh, yeah. So a cubic metre is probably how you would describe that.
Yeah, that's probably how I would if I could remember that's what you're supposed to say. And he then has been ladling out roughly 180 litres of water per day.
Ladling?
By hand. By hand.
To get the water out of the pool?
No. There's this is to try and solve the leak, because he's got to get where there's been a very slow leak and there's been a body of water, and he's trying to fix that so that he can work out where the leak is coming from. Anyway, it's all very, very complicated, and not something that I will be ever concerning myself with. I will be phoning a man up. And
if the problem still exists.
If the problem still exists, although I suspect it won't. So he's just been out in the midday sun, 35 to 40 degrees. And there was a moment where, I'm not kidding, Simon, he effectively did the first part of a sun salutation. He didn't throw his arms up in the air, but he bent forward, planted his hands on the floor, and then popped his legs back and lowered down in a chaturanga. What? And I just looked at him and I was going, you're 83. He had to lie fully flat on his front in order to be able to sort of stretch his arm down into this hole that he's dug to remove water. And me and Bob are incredulous, going, why is he knackering himself up? And we said, why are you knackering yourself up? And he just went, I'm keeping myself fit. So it's not that his physical capacity is diminishing. It's more that I am anxious about the fact that at 83, he is doing press-ups and ladling water out of the side of the pool unproblematically. And it's like, at some point, he's just going to die because he's going to do it in the middle of it. And I'm anxious for him. Instead of thinking, this is exercise. And he looks trim and healthy and well. Anyway.
And do you think you feel differently about them?
As a result of them aging?
Yeah, because every time you see them, so I'm assuming you see them reasonably regularly, right? Maybe 10 to 12 times a year.
Maybe not quite that much. Probably more like 6 to 7 times a year.
Okay, but so
you see them quite a lot, actually, more than I did when they lived in the UK.
Yeah, curious. No, I guess I'm thinking about how is your relationship with them changing as they are aging, and I know we're all getting closer to death at the same rate, but they are, they're dance cards. More likely to appear sooner than 70-year-olds in the world.
Yeah. I'd love to say something really profound, but I'm not sure that it's changing that much.
That's the other podcast you do.
I just think I'm more anxious about them. I'm just more anxious about them.
But do you express that to them, or is that just something you've got? You just keep in your...
I say out loud, stop doing that, you're going to die. And then, my dad's response is, we've all got to die of something. I'm like, I'm not sure we have to die of emptying a swimming pool out. But, his rejoinder is always, well, what would you rather I do? Sit inside and watch the television all day?
He's got a point, doesn't he?
Yeah. He really has got a point. He has got a point. Oh, and I was reading about, I can't remember who it was talking about, their elderly mother, and they were describing her in her 70s, and how she slowly started to withdraw from the world because she didn't seem to see herself in this world anymore. So she stopped watching current TV shows or the news, and she just started to watch things from her childhood, which was the 50s, and the person found that really sad.
That was hang on, this was a book you were reading?
This was a book I was reading, yeah, that her mother was just disappearing into this historical world. My mum is the polar opposite. As you know, Netflix is, as far as she's concerned, a challenge that has been thrown down.
To get through all of it.
She is going to complete it.
Cover to cover.
Oh, absolutely.
I did all of Netflix.
She's on the last pages.
Don't tell me what happens.
Exactly. She's now moved on to a series of South Korean dramas. Then she's like, so there's this doctor, right? Okay, but he has these powers. Okay, like healing powers. No. He can see demons. Okay, so there's a doctor who can see demons. Yeah, but he gets struck by lightning while he's holding this woman's hand. Is it his girlfriend? No, he's never met her before. And anyway, what happens is the powers are transferred from him to her, but she doesn't know how to use them. So he still needs to be able to defeat the demons. Is this before or after he's doctoring? Oh, it's usually during. But he has to hold, and so she describes these bizarre South Korean TV shows in great detail. And I don't know why I find it so endlessly diverting that she is, and then using occasional South Korean words at me.
Oh.
Which I'm sure are not accurate. But she's like, she's making these phonetic leaps at the at the language. And she's like, she went through a phase of watching a lot of Spanish drama, and so she spoke Spanish for a while. It's quite odd.
I just had a thought. Did you ever read that Gwande book called Being Mortal?
Yes.
It's a good book, isn't it?
It's a good book.
If anyone listening wants to have a book about the medicalisation of death and kind of ways to circumvent it or to think about it, then is it Atal Gwande? I think his name is.
Atal Gwande, yeah.
Yeah.
My advice, if anybody needs any support through their aging, is to just go and buy the house next door to my mum and dad, and then just look over the fence and go, Jesus. So I've got to spend my 83rd year digging holes. Got it. Fine. And then he said, "Oh, I've got a little old fella coming around to help me." I was like, "Oh, how old's your little old fella, Norman?" I'm 68. It's like, yeah.
I've actually had a little bit of. I've had a bit of a similar. It's weird, that thing about where you're just describing the the woman who's in the book who had sort of retreated into the past. One of the things that my mother tasked me. She left a little sort of folder of documents, and one of them said for Simon, and it's a note which is a sort of set of rather loose instructions about what to do with her writing. My mother was a prolific writer, and but not particularly organised, it turns out, and so this writing sort of scattered across lots of different folders and labelled things like keep.
Cool.
But you don't know which version is to be kept, and one of the documents is a diary.
Yeah.
And so it's a my mother died. She died all her life, really. Diary, is that the verb? Do you say that? She kept a diary.
I think you journal rather than diary.
Oh, listen to
curiously.
you. That's right. She kept a diary, really, in the sense of, and it was pretty. She played fast and loose with the diary writing rules, I suspect, because some of them are just. Oh no, I don't. I think this is just how they are. Sometimes they're just a little thing about what she cooked for dinner, and then other times there's quite a lot of detail, and then big gaps. And then, but it was quite, it's quite confronting reading squished into a Word document, more or less, a text document. I think it was about 15 years. And one of the things I'm supposed to do, she's written this book, which is really just for us being the 4 children, and She wants me to edit and format it and add the photos at the right places, and then effectively prepare it to be printed to send to my siblings. But I have been putting it off. I have to say, it's not easy. It's really not easy.
Is it because of what you're encountering?
No, it's not. No, it's not so much. Well, there's a couple of things. There's one where she had this which would have been August the year she died. So 3 months before she died, where she had a very large bleed. So she bled a lot and knew from the quantity of blood that this was not good. And the last thing she writes is, "What will I tell the children?"
Oh,
yeah, I know, and it's hard, but no, it's more. It's not so much that things are being revealed in a way. Some things were revealed when my father was dying that I found quite shocking. It's more that it's her. And so I'm dealing with her thinking and thoughts and ideas, and so it's just confronting. I don't know how else to describe it. It moves me, and yet I'm also performing a very particular kind of role of sort of editing. Like, it's really strange. I'm the last person in the world, really, along with my siblings, who ought to be doing it. It should be someone outside of the family. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Anyone looking for a unpaid job for the next few months? Give me a yell. Info at midlife-ing.net.
I'm definitely going to pass because...
You're busy at work? Sorry, we've got to stop this episode any moment now because we're talking about midlife.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much of your time. If I think about my niece and nephew and their age, their lives are ahead of them. And I mean that. I don't mean that with any sense of their lives are still ahead of them kind of thing. I just mean it's that amazing thing where it's all ahead of you, and we are. It's no question that the flip side of that is not that all our lives are past us. It's just that we're at a stage where you start to think about its ending. And I don't mean that in any negative or kind of, but it's such an amazing kind of sense of understanding about one's place, which I find exhilarating and amazing. But it's so different, and it can catch you unawares sometimes. Where you go, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
We should
stop.
See you next week.
Okay. See you next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.